I want to return to our other breaking news in the last hour. Israel's Supreme Court has ruled that there is no legal basis for excluding ultra-Orthodox men from the military draft and that those who are eligible for service must be drafted. Well, let's go live to our Middle East correspondent, Yolan Nell, who is in Jerusalem. Yolan, just explain what the court has ruled this morning.
Well, this is a decision by the Israeli Supreme Court, basically saying that after a legal arrangement expired that allowed ultra-Orthodox Jewish men to avoid conscription in the military, that really there is no reason for them now not to be conscripted. And this could affect tens of thousands of men, and also will affect the funding, the public funding that goes to the Jewish seminaries where they've been studying, if they continue to have students who are avoiding military conscription. So this really has wide ramifications in Israeli society, where 12% of the population now, a growing percentage of the population, are ultra-Orthodox Jews, and is something that will have real political implications too, with ultra-Orthodox Jewish parties playing a key role in the governing coalition. For them, this is really the number one issue, to avoid ultra-Orthodox Jewish men from serving in the military, to allow them to dedicate their time to religious study instead. And it's something, it's not totally clear at the moment what the ramifications of all that will be, but certainly it could lead to large numbers of men being called up. And it comes at a time, such a important ruling, which is an issue that's been going on for decades, really, causing divisions in Israeli society. But it's really come to a head at the time of the war in Gaza, where we've got Israeli military leaders saying that there is this huge strain on the military and they have a shortage of manpower, a shortage of combat soldiers.
Yes, you mentioned the ramifications, particularly for Benjamin Netanyahu in the government at the moment while the war in Gaza is continuing.
Indeed, and there had been sort of attempts in the past by the Supreme Court to put this issue back to Parliament, to allow Parliament to rule on exactly what should happen for ultra-Orthodox men, whether they should continue to be allowed to be exempt from the military. But there has been a failure for that to happen. Even with this current government, you can see within the coalition that there are real splits on exactly what should be allowed in terms of exemptions. And that has led really at a committee stage to Parliament just kind of holding off on new legislation, even at a time when, as I say, these legal arrangements had expired. So there was now no framework, the Supreme Court said, to allow ultra-Orthodox men to continue to be exempted. Now, in Israel, I mean, just as a bit more context, the army is really seen as being the people's army, a place where people from all walks of life go to share a joint experience in their late teenage years. And that is really what is seen as being the strength of the Israeli army. And at the beginning of the state of Israel, the late 40s, it was just a tiny percentage of ultra-Orthodox Jews. And so allowing them to have exemption after the population was really just so badly affected by the Holocaust was not seen as being a big issue. But as the ultra-Orthodox Jewish population has grown and grown, demographics have changed in Israel, this idea of sharing the security burden more equally has become a really hot political topic.
Yolan Nell with the latest there in Jerusalem. Thank you very much indeed.